This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site with a series of videos. I am soliciting people to consider Postmates. If you register, put my name down as the person who referred you. If you're successful, I earn a bonus. To the best of my ability, this is, I confess, partly guesswork. I do have an audience. It is repetitive. It is, all of my Postmates videos are getting some attention, some more than others, but there is some steady watchers. Who are they? That's the guesswork. So I have concluded I should speak to 3 different groups of people. People just listening for human interest, general interest. They don't want to deliver Postmates. They might not even be in a Postmates market. If they are, they don't even use Postmates delivery service, and they don't intend on providing Postmates delivery service. So this is general interest, group number 1. The second group is Postmates people in New York. There's a lot of things I say that are specific to New York, and when I can, I kind of try to pull the generic parts out of that and try to describe it in such a way that someone who's not done Postmates in New York would understand. So the human interest group, the everybody group, that I use the E for everybody, just like the app rating system, E for everybody. So this entire video is E for everybody. So in other videos, I'm talking specifically about strategies that I have and why I go online, why I go offline, how and when I get hours, what is the activity like when I don't get the hours on the schedule, blitz pricing, these things that everybody really doesn't care about. However, the crashing emotions, the account suspended, account closed, you've been disciplined, battle with doorman, this type of stuff is E for everybody. So I did a total of 0 deliveries today. So how much do I have specific for Postmates people in or out of New York? 0. What do I have? E for everybody is this traumatic event of being suspended. So I'll share my screen. Oops. I'll share my screen soon. Okay, account closed. This is a YouTube video I did explaining that it closed. I did this within 5 hours of learning that my account had been closed. Here is another. Your account is closed. Please contact your community manager. I got that at 5:42 yesterday. E for everybody. Everybody thinks who's not in Postmates. Everybody knows in Postmates what a community manager is. Well, you know what? I don't know who that is. And so this message is kind of vague and troubling. This from JG came along. Love your vids, man. I'm a Postmate walker. This came just after I learned that my account was closed. So I will thank JG again. It was awesome. Timing was just great. I was a little wounded, and that was in addition to saying that my vids were good, which is an unsolicited positive. and Unsolicited Plus. He also said when he learned my account was closed, let me know, make sure you update us. So in other words, he said, reacted here. He's a New York City walker. I am a New York City walker. I supplement with the share bikes, but we're both on the system as walkers. So this is about as precise an audience as I could ever hope to get. And he compliments my videos. Well, that's great, but the timing of it was just perfect because I really needed it. In addition to that, he said, give us an update. I want to know what happened. So partly inspired by my own blogging sense, partly inspired by I forget, I've done this a few times. I forget which order the letters go in, GJ or JG. JG. I am now telling you what it is. Postmates account closed, right there. This is some more blogging I did. Calming warmth of the www. This is my own emotional process. I turn to text when I'm kind of struggling. I can feel it in my stomach. I can feel that these issues aren't resolved, and so I type them away. It's been working for me for at least a decade that I've known of, probably to some extent a lifetime of processing emotion with the help of writing. There's another blog post, accounts closed, and I write calming warmth of www. Bernie Sanders is killing it. This is a reply tweet to someone who was, Bernie Sanders had a rally, I've forgotten where, in California, in I think the Los Angeles area. No big pause to those Postmates. Post now again. I speak to E for everybody. E for everybody. This is an emotional, traumatic event for me. Therefore, everybody might be interested. However, this item right here is specifically for Postmates people, and more specifically, Postmates people, if you are to get your account closed, which I think is a synonym to suspended, or at least I'm hoping it is. I get through some issues here, personal issues. I came to find out that my feelings were really close match for some other blogger's text. He had been account closed. I found his blog post by searching Postmate account closed and hacking through several pages of hits. And the more I read his text, it went on and on, the more it seemed pitiful. The more I realized that my feelings matching his were also pitiful. So this right here, this was a revelation for me that kind of helped me move past the idea that somehow I've been treated unfairly. No, if I get reinstated tomorrow, as I expect to, I believe I've been treated fairly. They, by my calculations, even though I only have the one thing so far, account is closed, I've come to realize that what I think has happened is I've been the subject of a complaint. And what do? They have a complaint against Tom Duty. With one click, they can turn me off. Keep that guy off the streets till he comes in for a come to Jesus conversation. So that's what I'm going to be having tomorrow, and hopefully I will seem repentant, humble, and worthy of getting my account reinstated. This is I had a little more time to telemarket today, so I did several hours of telemarketing today. This is the text to accompany it. This is a tandem telemarketing thing with a fellow financial professional specializing in debt in Florida. His name's Phil. That's what this is about. So, and then I got this, which has a date and time. If you clicked on it, this is the reply from, what do you know? Community manager does exist. I put the blue splotches over his name, and this is what he said. So this was in response to my text. My text soliciting this response is in my blog, along with these other things. So that's what's happened to date. Listeners who are Postmates, everyone, I can't believe you'd be interested in digging into this in any more detail. Postmates people, I'm telling you, this is a topic to get into, and get into it. Please listen to me. Postmates in and out of New York. Please read my blog. Go through this video again. My other video, this traumatic this thug of emotional wound. Because if you go through what I've expressed, both in video and in text, before it happens to you, you'll be in great shape. And I will, even without knowing you've done this, I get some satisfaction knowing I've had an audience, knowing that some of you might actually heed my warning and get into my text, my emotional reconciling of this traumatic event, and boom, all of a sudden it happens to you and you're like, no big deal. You check the hours, you go in, you get swatted around a little bit by this Postmates come to Jesus process, and you're back out there. No big deal. If that could happen to you, listeners, Postmates in and out of New York, if that could happen to you, I would be the happiest blogger on earth. Because this, oh, my account's closed. Is that terminal? I registered with DoorDash, you know, so I kind of thought maybe it's my last, you know, so I had some, and I don't really want to do DoorDash. And I prefer to stay with Postmates. So, you know, that's a step I was taking just because I was a little desperate. And so listeners, Postmates in and out of New York, if you can sift through some of the stuff I've done in the last 24 hours, and you come to be prepared for it happening to you, you'll make me that. Even if I don't know that this event has happened and that what I've done is any help at all, I will be the happiest blogger on earth. Just the fantasy that this might happen, that my traumatic event somehow gets struggled through and help someone else spare the indignity of a wound that at this point I really don't think has to be a wound. It's just I got a complaint. They got to get me off the streets. They got to give me a come to Jesus, and then they got to get me back on the streets. This should be like, oh shit, okay, now I know what I did. Okay, I understand why you didn't want to send me an email, whatever. Okay, I get it. Yes, I repent. Yes, I am humbled. Yes, I am sorry. Yes, whatever they need to hear. But I've come to the point where I think I can say what I believe they want to hear, and I can say it sincerely, rather than it being faked and forced. I've done plenty of faked and forced apologies. I'm sorry. Not really. But this one will be sincere if it's the event I think it was that got me account closed. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty and a Google search from my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.